things happen in great moments, and so has the month of June been. From great innovations from the big dogs in the world of tech. This is Month in Tech for June. Let's start with the fruit company, Apple. Apple, at their WWDC event that happened in the month of June, introduced some new software improvements and new technological improvements in their devices. If you didn't know, WWDC is mostly targeted to software improvements in the Apple ecosystem. There was the alpha introduction of iOS 15. The new iOS 15 brought about a lot of improvement from iOS 14, which most iOS devices are currently on. Now, iOS 15 introduced a lot of things, but these changes were primarily to native apps. Talking about native apps, the app that received a lot of updates was the FaceTime app. Now, one major feature that was introduced for the FaceTime app was spatial audio. Now, spatial audio allowed better sound clarity in voice calls and also isolation when performing voice calls. Then there was the introduction of grid view, which allowed multiple personas in a FaceTime call to be viewed simultaneously at a time. Apple also introduced the share FaceTime feature, which meant FaceTime calls could be shared cross-platform, but basically working like a Zoom link. So all it meant is you could open the FaceTime link in the browser. So on your Android devices, you could access your FaceTime on your browser. Then there was the introduction of portrait mode, which meant you could have your beautiful background isolations in your FaceTime call. Apple also introduced SharePlay, which you could use to share music and videos in a FaceTime call. iMessage also got some of the goodies as well. Multiple shared images in an iMessage conversation are now grouped as a stack. Shared links and videos in a conversation now get a separate tab and are more organized for future references. Then there was focus mode, which was basically a customizable do not disturb option on your iPhone, which could sync across all your Apple devices in the ecosystem. Also introduced live text, which is their version of Google Lens, which is able to copy text on every surface. Now, this is not limited to just text alone. Live text also can be able to copy addresses, people, contact numbers, and so much more. Now, Siri. Who is Siri? I don't have Google Assistant. Sorry, that was a joke. Now, Siri, the kid behind Google Assistant, just got a promotion. Siri now can work natively on your iPhones. This then means that your iPhone will no longer need internet service to perform on-demand Siri tasks that you ask it to perform. The Apple Maps also got some additions as well, with more details to locations and places on the map. The Apple Wallet will start supporting driver's licenses as well. iCloud Plus is a subscription-based service for iCloud users, which basically provides a VPN, temporal or private email addresses, and more storage for HomeKit devices. A new macOS was also launched, macOS Monterey, which allowed mouse support through macOS devices and iPad devices, and also the ability to move content from a Mac device to an iPad also. So you could literally move content from, let's say, example, your MacBook to an iPad, or from an iPad to an iMac. Other additions at the event was the introduction of AirPods to the Find My app on your iPhone. So now, anytime you use your AirPods, you could easily find them using the Find My app on your iPhone. Other minor changes were also shown in the Notes app and on the iPad side as well. More on these and links to these will also be shared down in the description, so in case you want to dig down with a bigger shovel. They say our eyes are windows to our minds. Talking about windows in the tech space, Windows 11 is here and ready. Talking about features and changes, one major change from the get-go is a new introduction of a new taskbar. This new taskbar, as already mentioned, is centered, and so is the apps, which means they are all personalized per the taste of the general user. Also to note, updates on Windows 11 are now 40% smaller, which means that background installations of these apps are now better. Additional feature that was also introduced on Windows 11 is Snap Layout, which basically are templates that you could always use when using multiple screens. Action of Snap Groups, which basically aligns whatever you are doing on a multiple screen back to how it was. If you are a macOS user, you are not new to multiple desktops. Well, this has also been introduced on the new Windows 11, which means that now on Windows 11 you can also customize multiple desktops per your preference, say home, work, or for entertainment or even gaming. Microsoft Teams now comes bundled with Windows 11, which makes me wonder, is Microsoft throwing away Skype, which happens to be their old grandpa, or is Microsoft Teams now the new frontier that Microsoft wants to bring down our necks? And there were widgets. Widgets. I wonder why all the tech companies are introducing widgets. Well, they are kind of interesting and they make your work also easier. Well, Microsoft has joined the game with Windows Widgets, which basically is a personalized AI feed, which per your activities or per the content you consume on your device produces sets of feed of news or articles that are related to your activities. 2-in-1 devices and touch devices that run the Windows OS operative system had a major boost as well. Gesture support on these devices just had a major boost. Now the gesture support on these devices are same as those on trackpads, so no need to learn any new Kung Fu skill as well. Other minor additions are the introduction of a new touch keyboard and an improved voice input on your devices as well. The Windows Store also had major improvements as well. Auto HDR is a new feature introduced by Microsoft to boost the visuals of games. As the name implies, gives them HDR content or make them HDR capable. Other improvements on the Microsoft Store is the introduction of third-party store support, more specifically Android apps. This then means that Android apps can now run natively on the Microsoft Store. Also, in addition, Microsoft introduced Direct Storage API, which used to be an exclusive to Xboxes. Now, Direct Storage API basically allowed games to get direct access to your GPU, skipping the process of accessing your CPU. This means that games get to load faster and better. Now, the month of June came with a whole lot of other innovations, but the two tech giants, Microsoft and Apple, were major influences or the spearhead of the month of June. Now, all other forms of tech news that happened in the month of June would also be shared in the form of links down at the description section. When you are down there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video as well. But once again, I've been your host Melon for Mountain Tech on MTT.